Welcome back to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast. At Healthy Steps Nutrition, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated. That's why we focus on a simple, habit-based approach when working with clients. We know that helping our clients become the healthiest versions of themselves goes well beyond just giving them a meal plan or telling them what to eat. That's why we focus on a holistic approach at Healthy Steps Nutrition. We look at sleep, stress management, mindset, lifestyle, support system, exercise, and of course, nutrition to help create customized plans so that your clients can make health a way of life one step at a time. We help gym owners and coaches build successful, habit-based nutrition coaching programs without reinventing the wheel. I'm your host, Nicole Aucoin, registered dietitian and founder, Healthy Steps Nutrition, CrossFit HSN, and HSN Mentoring. I'm also the author of The Basics of Nutrition Coaching CrossFit Preferred Nutrition course. I'm going to teach you how to take one step at a time to build a successful nutrition program where you finally feel confident talking about nutrition to your members and your communities. All right, we know that building a successful nutrition program cannot be done with the owner alone or just the nutrition coach. Staff buy-in will make or break a nutrition program. In today's episode, Lindsay McDonald, our chief of staff at HSN Mentoring and our first mentor that I ever hired back in 2016, her and I discuss the key practices that you need to increase staff buy-in and grow a nutrition program in your gym. Here's the deal. Your community and your members are already overwhelmed by all the nutrition information out there. There's so many different diets, health claims, all these different companies pushing information out. If you do not have a consistent message within your staff, you're going to confuse your members even more, and they are not going to sign up for your nutrition program. You need a unified and clear message from your staff. On December 2nd, Lindsay and I hosted our first one-day ever nutrition challenge intensive. This was actually brought up during the intensive, and it sparked a huge conversation between all of the gym owners. During this intensive, we gave gym owners and coaches a practical plan to implement a habit-based nutrition coaching program in-house. It was a full day training where we talked about business systems, a large overview on marketing. Then we dove into marketing practices for your nutrition challenge. We discussed nutrition education. We discussed individual meetings, which are vital to build a successful nutrition challenge and convert people over to ongoing coaching. We talked about engagement during your challenge. And of course, we wrapped up the training with talking about the final meeting for your nutrition challenge, individual meetings, so that you can convert people to ongoing coaching. So many people will launch nutrition challenges in the new year, and this one-day training gave them everything they needed to plan, launch, execute a nutrition challenge in their gym. Robin, one of the attendees, said, "I just wanted to say how much I loved today's training. On top of it being super helpful, it was so motivating and inspiring. I spent all afternoon working on my December nutrition talk as well as the homework for mentoring. I am big on to-do lists, and today I had lots of tasks and I was able to mark off a bunch of them. So I'm stoked." Robin is the nutrition coach at Backcountry CrossFit. Brian, the gym owner, just signed up for mentoring about 24 hours prior to the one-day training. Robin joined the one-day training to accelerate their onboarding process to launch their nutrition program and challenge in January. They are set up for success to run a habit-based challenge, and more importantly, they have a program to offer their members ongoing support after the challenge is over. They are not going to fall into the challenge trap, and I don't want you to either. So I hope you enjoy this episode on getting staff buy-in, and stay tuned for the end of this episode where I talk about avoiding the challenge trap and how you can join the next one-day training intensive so that you can have everything you need to run a nutrition challenge in your gym, and more importantly, convert people to ongoing coaching and support them long after the challenge is over. Enjoy this episode. Lindsay, welcome back to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast.
Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Doing awesome. I'm so excited to talk about today's podcast topic, how to get your staff on board with your nutrition coaching program. Now, what's interesting, you actually just had a call with this gym not that long ago, but I was on the phone with Crown City CrossFit, and John, one of the owners, said to me, right as we were wrapping up the call, he said, Nicole mentioned this in the call, but I want to bring attention to it because this will make or break our nutrition program. We need our entire staff on board. And it was like, I have goosebumps right now, just rethinking that conversation. Cause I'm like, man, this guy gets it. He understands that if his staff is excited about his nutrition program, it will trickle down to his members and it will trickle down to the growth of the nutrition program and the impact that they will have now that they have a professional coaching program in-house and Talia to run it. And I know you help a lot of gyms really figure out how to get the staff on board. And for existing gyms that have been around for a while, it can be an adventure because, we haven't prioritized nutrition for so long. And now all of a sudden we are prioritizing nutrition, and getting the staff on board can be tricky if it's not done in the right way.
Yeah. And I think it's a step that can be overlooked at times. And it's so vital for growth of the program, because it's the difference between someone at a gym seeing this as Lindsay's program at the gym versus the entire gym's nutrition program. And members are so motivated by what their coaches are doing, what the owner is doing. So if everybody's speaking the same language, the odds that those members are going to be excited and want to know more is so much higher. So I cannot stress enough how important this step is. And I know people get excited to launch programs and talk about what's upcoming, but we need to make sure the entire staff is on board with what the program looks like and how to get people signed up first and foremost.
Absolutely. I think I learned a valuable lesson by one of my mentors, Michael Hyatt, a couple years ago, and he talks about something called cascade communication. And basically that means when you launch something, you should be talking about this thing, whatever the case may be, to your senior staff first, then the rest of your staff, then your members, and then your communities. And that really hit home for me. And I think for a lot of people, and let's go back to COVID shutdowns, right? Like, how did owners communicate with their staff what was going to happen next, to then your key members, to everyone else that's a part of your membership, and then to the rest of your following? And what I saw a lot of times happen is gym owners posted something on social media, and that's where everyone found out, or sent out an email to the entire community. And that's how staff found out what was going on. And I don't know of another way that will decrease morale and break the team and staff apart more than the people who are most invested in your business not knowing first.
Yeah. And think of it from the member standpoint. Say, they're in the gym and they've seen this post on social media and they're super excited, and they come to their coach of the day and ask them, and that coach does not know how to answer, that they are not aware as to what is happening. That's not going to give a lot of confidence for the member either, right? So we need to make sure that our staff are educated first. Absolutely.
Cascade communication, I think that's such a vital tool that every business owner needs to understand. Like, talk to your key staff first, then talk to the rest of your staff, then your membership, then your following. And if you do things in that order, you're going to increase buy-in and you're going to get people more excited. And the people who have the most stake in your company are going to know first. And that's a place for you to also answer questions, right? Like, I think a lot of gym owners are they project that their coaches might think, oh, well, I'm adding nutrition just so my members will pay more, or something along those lines, when in reality, no, members need nutrition. They need accountability. They need support. And if you get those hard questions answered by your staff first, they're going to be more bought in, so that when they get asked by members, they feel really confident. And I think we all got in this business to help people, right? And if we know the fastest way to help them is with nutrition, fitness, and accountability, how could your staff not be on board with that?
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, right now, I think a lot of us, or a lot of gyms, are offering part of the solution, but to be able to offer that holistic approach, it just means that members are happier, they are healthier, they are going to be coming to the gym more frequently and for longer duration because they're so satisfied with their experience. To me, it's just a no-brainer.
Yeah, for sure. So let's dive into getting your staff on board. Like, let's talk about the how with this. I think a lot of gyms have staff members that are not full-time with their gym, which
Yep.
now you're managing work schedules and families and all the things. Like, how do you coordinate a time for the staff to all be in one room or join Zoom to get the information out so that it's delivered effectively throughout the entire staff?
Yeah, and I think once a month is a really good standard. And again, if you do have people that are that can't be there in person, I think being able to have them log on via Zoom to be a part of that conversation, I think is completely realistic. But what typically does work best is having that standing time every month or every 6 weeks where it's reoccurring. So when you look to the next year, you can automatically have those times and days blocked off, right?
Yep. So having a set staff meeting, and, I think staff meetings need to be organized, right? Like, you need to go into that staff meeting with an agenda of what you want to cover, and you need to ask for feedback. It needs to not just be you talking to your staff. There needs to be interaction there. I know with onboarding gyms using HSN, we recommend sending the staff a pre-recorded training from myself so that they understand a little bit about what's happening with the nutrition program. But then the staff meeting is used to having communication and answering and fostering the role play that's going to happen. So if someone asks you, Lindsay, what's the nutrition program about? And you're just a staff member, not a nutrition coach, you can state back to me what the nutrition program is about, and most importantly, how to get started.
Yeah, absolutely. So just as you said, when a new gym is launching, I think the first piece of that the coach wants to share in that staff meeting is the elevator pitch about what the program really entails, who it's for, how to get started. That would be number one. And I think that really gives staff a lot of confidence in that they do have an answer if someone is asking them about, hey, I hear about this awesome new program. What is it about? Knowledge is power. And I think some hesitation from staff comes from the fact they don't always know what to say because it's not their program. So give them a clear elevator pitch to use in that instance.
I love that. And another thing that I would highly recommend, and I actually we onboarded a new gym this morning, and I said, all right, who are the people that do the free intros? Like, it's probably not the owner, probably not the nutrition coach. And who are the head coaches of your programs? And they mentioned one person at this gym. And I said, okay, those people or that person is going to be your first test client, because I want them to see what it's like from a client's perspective. I don't want our staff to just have to memorize bullet points. I want them to be able to talk from experience. So if your staff is able to have some bullet points, I think that's the bare minimum. And then, have them get involved with the program. I know for us, if we have a staff member that wants to do our nutrition program, individual coaching, or when we launch a challenge, we allow them to join that program for just the cost that we pay the nutrition coach. Because I don't want to make money off of them. I want them to be a part of the program. I want them to be able to talk from experience, because I know that's going to trickle down into classes and the other things that they're involved with, so that it becomes a part of our culture.
Yeah, I think staff tends to speak to what they know, right? So we need to expand what their experience involves. A lot of gyms are hosting a challenge in January, and that is a fantastic way to get your staff on board. That's how I launched back, 6, 7 years ago. There were 7 other staff, and they all took part in that challenge. They not only had a fantastic time, it was really great for the membership to see everybody on board engaging. But at the end of the process, they were able to speak to the program a whole lot better than they would have otherwise.
I love that. So we need to get them involved, have a staff meeting, role play in that staff meeting. Like, ask every one of your staff, hey, I'm interested in nutrition. What's the next step, or what's this nutrition program about? And what you don't want to happen, and what happens so many times, is that staff member says, oh, go talk to Nicole. She's the nutrition coach. Or go talk to Nicole. She's the owner. And then that person falls through the cracks. Like, have an SOP, standard operating procedure, where if someone's interested, you take ownership of the next step for them and make it so easy for them to get started. And for many gyms, it's walking over to the iPad and booking a free goal setting session or a free intro with that nutrition coach so that they can sit down and talk to that staff member about what they're really looking for. And I'll give you an example. We had one of our members, Natalie, she's been a member of our gym for forever. I actually worked out with her this morning. She's amazing. And she reached out to me and she said, "Hey, Nicole, I'm interested in the food sensitivity test." I do not do the food sensitivity test. I don't know a lot about them, right? I said, "Hey, I'm going to set up a time for you to talk to Amanda about this so that she can get you started and get you moving with the next step." Like, I know that what the next step needs to be is for you to do essentially a free intro call with Amanda so she can tell you about it, because that's what she's super passionate about. I know that members who have done this sensitivity test and people in our community have been able to identify the foods that don't sit well with them. And then Amanda creates a plan with them and it helps them drastically feel better, have more energy and all of the things. But Natalie came up to me, "Hey, Nicole, I want this." All right, awesome. Let's get you booked in with Amanda so that she can talk to you about this. And if you don't have something set up like that, what will happen is you say, "Oh, you got to talk to Amanda." Well, what if Natalie didn't see Amanda for 2 weeks now, and now she doesn't care about it anymore, and now she is not getting the help that she wanted and she needed. So you need to have a clear path for people to take the next step and put that ownership on you as the coach or the owner to get them moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing point. And I think I told you this before, but a few weeks ago, I spoke to a gym and it was a light bulb moment because they had one of their full-time staff was leading a class. One member said, "I heard about this upcoming challenge. I want to get enrolled." That coach did not know how to get that person signed up, took that person's name and phone number on a piece of paper, put it into his shorts, meaning to give it to the other coach by the end of the day, forgot, gave it to them the next day. When the nutrition coach reached out 2 days later, that person lost interest, right? So that was a huge wake-up moment for that owner to build out the SOP. Super simple, right? Someone shows interest. Here's how we get them enrolled in an upcoming challenge or booked into a free intro. Super simple. People are motivated. We need to act on that right away.
I think QR codes have made this so easy. So if you don't have an iPad at the front of your office or welcome desk, put a QR code somewhere where, "Hey, are you interested in nutrition? Scan this little button and book your free intro." Or, "You want to join our challenge? Awesome. Scan this and sign up for the challenge." Or have a physical sign up board, which has been probably the number one strategy in gyms to grow a nutrition challenge. And you draw attention to it and every coach draws attention to it so that you have some accountability, and then put the follow up on you as the owner or the nutrition coach to get those people signed up.
Yeah, it's really easy. It's awesome.
All right. So we understand how to do it, right? Like, we understand what would be the next step, or how do you handle objections? Would you say, like, let's say a staff member is like, "Well, I really like keto. I don't like habit-based approach."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would say that's great if that's working for you. And, the beauty of our program is that we can work with people that do follow different plans. However, our focus is really on helping our members create a sustainable lifestyle through a habit-based approach. So, question for you would be, when you are eating keto, are you choosing whole foods? Are you making sure to have adequate nutrient timing? Are you eating every 3 hours? What does that look like? Because those are all pieces of what I'll be speaking to our members about. So I would try to pull out what they're doing that is in line with what I'm looking to offer our membership, and make sure that they know that, again, the goal is to promote the long-standing health and wellness of our membership.
Yeah. I think for a lot of coaches, all great points. A lot of coaches, I feel like, can follow something that's super strict and be good with that. And for the general population, that's not sustainable long-term. So, man, Lindsay, you follow keto, like, awesome job for you. I'm sure it was an adjustment when you got started, but I know for a lot of people, especially the people that we've worked with over the years, it's not sustainable long-term. And then what happens is people fall off and then they regain all the weight they worked so hard to lose. And instead, we want to help them create healthy habits so that it's not a special diet that they have to follow. It could be something that the whole family can do together and create a solid foundation. And I respect everything that you're doing. But I really would hope that you would be on board with us as we really prioritize health and wellness and fighting chronic disease and helping our members become the healthiest versions of themselves. Because I know that when they are doing quality nutrition and they're prioritizing their nutrition, they're going to have more energy. They're going to get more PRs. They're going to recover. They're going to decrease inflammation, all things that are going to help you be able to help them be a better coach or be a better athlete.
Love it. Yeah.
I think you have to be able to handle objections because not everyone's going to follow, especially staff, right? Like not everyone's going to follow the same nutrition philosophy. And I challenge you as you bring on new staff members, like that needs to be a part of the intake process. Like everyone that gets hired by us on our CrossFit coaching staff or trainers, they know that we prioritize nutrition. This is the foundation. And whether they follow a habit-based approach in our program or not, I don't really care. I care that you are, what is spoken out to our membership is the same consistent nutrition philosophy. Because the truth is there's so many different diets out there and people are so overwhelmed and confused by all the different diets. What they don't need is more people within the CrossFit space or within the gym, confusing them even more with different diets and supplements and all the other things.
No, we want people coming to our gyms and getting that one awesome solution for fitness and for nutrition as well. Absolutely. I think for any new coaches, making sure they're aware as to what that looks like within your gym, make sure they have that elevator pitch, the SOP to get them booked in for a free intro and have them experience that free intro for themselves as well.
Let's talk about, your staff on board is really important, but owner involvement is vital. I know one of the big things, like we do a big 3 every year, right? Like, okay, what are the 3 things that we want to focus on? In 2021, I was like, I will get owners involved and owners on mentoring calls. You just jumped on the call before we started recording. You said, Nicole, Rob from Rockland has been on every mentoring call recently and it makes me so happy. And that makes me happy too. Good job, Rob. You keep coming on those calls if you're listening to this. But I know that when owners are involved with a program, coaches are going to feel supported. The staff is going to be on board and it's going to trickle down to the members and it's going to help the program grow faster. Talk to me about what you see in regards to owner involvement with nutrition programs.
Well, right from the get-go, owners are there part of the online training experience. They're there with all of the training calls. So even if they're not seeing clients themselves, they are seeing what their coach is going to be offering their membership. For owners that are not working with clients, we encourage them to become the very first client of the coach, which is a fantastic experience for them. And again, going back to what you said, they can now speak from experience and they're showcasing what they're able to achieve. And that just really sets the standard for all staff and then all the members as well. I think it's awesome.
Absolutely. Owner involvement, so important. I know you guys have talked about Trey with white belt athletics quite a few times. And Jason and I actually went and visited him last week and it was so much fun, but he was the first nutrition client of Emily's and he's seen such amazing results and it trickled down to them having a great participation with their challenge. Quite a few people converted over to ongoing coaching and it's really just changed the culture in their gym to really prioritize nutrition. And he can talk about it from experience and people have seen his transformation. So they're like, man, what is Trey doing now? Like, why is he getting so much better in the gym? Why is his body composition changing? And he just says, well, I'm working with Emily with my nutrition and it's really helped me. And his wife has done the same thing. It's absolutely amazing. And I know that their program's only going to continue to grow. And if you are not using HSN, I think a really great step to see what your nutrition program is like and see if it is the experience that you actually want. Sign up for your nutrition program and see, is this really the experience that I want? Because I would say 9 times out of 10 when that happens and I give owners on a free call that action step, they're like, yeah, this is not exactly what I wanted for my program. I want to be able to deliver a professional experience like I do with my fitness coaching. And, I think with CrossFit or with any type of fitness, you can evaluate classes. You can jump into classes and see like, okay, this coach is doing awesome, or this coach is not running the classes the same way I want my classes to be run. But behind a closed door in a one-on-one consultation, it's super tough to be able to evaluate those unless you are a client yourself.
Exactly. And that's the really hard part, is that often it's seen as being extremely separate from like the fitness side of it. And you need to get in there and be a part of it to evaluate and see if it's up to par as to what you would expect from a client perspective. Going back to what you said about Trey, I mean, he's the best hype person I've ever met. And I know he said once it really changed the whole free intro process for all brand new people, because it took him saying, you could do this with Emily, to you will do this with Emily because I did. And that's extremely powerful.
I love that. I think it's super important to be able to get this dialed in for the free intro, right? And making sure everyone who's doing the free intro, I know you and I just did, we did a goal setting session. Kayla was a part of it, like goal setting sessions, intensive to help role play that so that existing members can talk about their goals and you can help them create a plan for 2022. And a lot of times those people are looking to change body composition. I know one of our questions of the day recently at our gym was, what's one health goal that you have? And 9 out of 10 people, there was more people in the class, but the majority of those people said something related to body composition, nutrition, energy levels, losing weight, like something in regards to that nutrition coaching could be a part of and help them reach that goal. Like, okay, if you talked about that, now it's time to pull those people individually and say, let's go book a goal setting session so that you're not just talking about it. Let's create a plan to make this actually happen for you so that this time next year, you're like, man, I accomplished exactly what I wanted to accomplish.
Yeah. And now is the time. Questions of the day, as you mentioned, that's another great way to get your staff involved. I think asking them what interests you, what really motivates you. And if they like to have those, host those at the start of each class, I'd say do it. Okay, guys, every Monday, we're going to ask this question of the day. It's a great place to get some feedback. And then again, steer them to a free intro if those members are looking for more.
Awesome. All right. I want to dive into challenges. You and I are going to be hosting a 1-day challenge intensive, teaching everyone what they need to know to launch an awesome nutrition challenge, but more importantly, use that to kickstart a nutrition ongoing professional coaching program in-house. And we already mentioned, hey, if you're going to run a challenge, like highly encourage your staff to be involved in that challenge and be a part of it. But talk to me about those gyms who are planning to launch challenges in January or February, which is most. What are some things they should be thinking about right now?
They need to get the word out, right? I mean, a lot of people are going to be making a choice as to what's going to be that awesome solution for them by end of year, and they need to know that you are that solution. So I think if you are launching with the challenge, first and foremost, you need to have that staff meeting with your core staff and let them know what your plan is for January. They need to be aware. And then how are they going to be a part of that experience?
I love that. So encourage your staff, have a staff meeting, make sure it's super clear what this challenge includes and what are the benefits of this challenge? What can someone expect that's a part of this challenge? And that this is really the kickstart of an ongoing coaching program to support you to reach your health and wellness goals. And when you do that, it will slowly start changing the culture. Then you hype the heck out of those people who have done awesome with the challenge, converted to ongoing coaching, and slowly but surely the rest of your staff will jump on board. I know you work with CrossFit Generation quite a bit, 14-year affiliate, went from 1 nutrition coach to now I think they have 6 nutrition coaches, and they've truly changed their whole business model to make nutrition the foundation and offer a professional habit-based coaching program.
Yeah, their members hear about it in every single class, and that is a major difference, I would say. It just becomes part of that everyday chatter, I think layering on to making sure that your staff is aware, I think having a conversation with them as to what you would expect from them. So how are they going to talk about the upcoming event? They're going to talk about the challenge at the start of class. They can direct people over to the sign-up board. And what would engagement look like from their end during the actual challenge as well? Because I don't know about you, but I've seen gyms on the app love when the entire staff is a part of that conversation, posting what they're eating, posting what they're doing, sharing their bright spots. The more engagement in there, the better the experience is for everyone.
Absolutely. And then it also takes pressure off of the owner and the coach to be able to be the only leaders in their tribe. Like, let's spread out the love and have it be a consistent message beyond, just the nutrition coach. Getting your staff on board is absolutely vital to the success of a long-term ongoing nutrition coaching program. Lindsay, one actionable step for gym owners, coaches listening to this podcast today, what would you say?
I have to go back with what you actually give new gyms. I want them, if they haven't yet, to be speaking from the client experience and really get in there and see how the program is being run and if they're happy with how it's being run. I also want them to look at their calendar and is there a staff meeting on the books? So you said one action step. Sorry, Nicole, I'm going to give them two. If they've already done one, is a staff meeting on the books, and is the entire staff coming or attending in some way to that event? Is there a schedule of topics that are going to be covered in that event as well?
Awesome. Lindsay, you are such a wealth of knowledge. You help every single gym get up and running using the HSN mentoring platform. And I can't thank you enough for all that you do. And I'm super excited to see you in person because you are freezing in Canada and I'm in South Florida. And I can't wait to see you in person so soon.
So soon. I cannot wait.
Staff buy-in is so important, and it's one of the things you really need to consider when building a nutrition program in your gym. During the one-day training that Lindsay and I hosted on December 2nd, we had a long Q&A at the end. One gym owner mentioned that he was struggling getting his staff on board with his nutrition program. He actually has quite a few nutrition coaches, but he has an even bigger staff. He mentioned that some of the coaches did different types of diets like keto or macros or some other type of diet, and it was a struggle for him to get everyone on the same page. And he said, what should we do? How can I get everyone on the same page? Because I know that it's hurting the consistent message or the lack of a consistent message in our gym. This is actually very, very common. I get this question asked at least once a week by a gym owner on a free call. I haven't prioritized nutrition in the past. My staff isn't on board. What should I do? Well, let's pretend you have a coach or some member of your team that is a diehard keto, macro, deadlifts and donuts fan, whatever the case may be. And you've decided that you want to focus on a habit-based approach with your nutrition program. How do you handle talking to that coach because you know you need a consistent message in your gym? Well, here's what I would do. I would sit down with them one-on-one and I would say, hey, Susie, I know that you love keto and that works so well for you. But for most people, they're so overwhelmed because of all the different diet information out there. And most people aren't as strict as you and they're not able to stay that strict. And what happens is they try it for a week or two and then they feel overwhelmed and they go right back to old habits. Instead, we want to help create a customized plan with our clients and we want to help them one step at a time. We want to help them build healthy habits and it's sustainable forever so they don't go back to their old ways and regain the weight they worked so hard to lose. But I need your help. I need us as a team to come together and have a consistent message because there are so many different diets out there and people are already confused. So if you're talking about one thing that you do and we're all talking about something different, it could inhibit someone from taking that next step in hiring us to help them create that customized plan for them. So I would love for you, even though I understand that you're a diehard keto fan, I would love for you to come on board and really focus on that habit-based approach when you're talking to our clients. So here are some things that I would say. Would you mind helping me in doing this so that we can help our clients be the healthiest versions of themselves and help them make nutrition a priority? Is that something that you can help me do? When you spin it like that, it helps them understand, hey, yeah, you might be doing this and that's okay for you, but it's not going to be sustainable for most people. Most people need something that's simple and sustainable and they need a coach to keep them accountable. And you need all of your staff on board with that message. All right, as promised, we need to talk about the challenge trap. So many gyms are going to launch challenges in January and you might be launching one too. But you really want to have an ongoing coaching program to support your clients after the challenge is over. I've heard so many times gym owners tell me, Nicole, I've launched a 30-day challenge, and on day 31, people go right back to their old habits and they slowly end up regaining the weight they worked so hard to lose. Instead, you want to prioritize health and wellness. You want to offer your clients ongoing support and accountability long after your challenge is over. This is how we avoid the challenge trap. All right, here's 3 tips. 1, you need a clear plan to what happens next after the challenge, before the challenge starts, so that you can be talking about it from day 1 of your marketing. Hey, this challenge is a great way to kickstart your nutrition coaching, but we are going to have an option to support you long after this challenge is over. I even ask sometimes during my kickoff seminars, how many of you guys have done a challenge before? Raise your hand. How many of you guys have regained the weight you worked so hard to lose during that challenge? Almost everyone keeps their hand up every single time. Awesome. Well, I don't want that to be you this year, and we have an option to continue to support you long after this challenge. So I'm so excited to be offering ongoing support and accountability after this challenge is over, and we're going to release more details soon. All right, that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, you need to meet people individually at the beginning and at the end of your nutrition challenge. This is a vital part of the success of converting people over to ongoing coaching. And it's something, honestly, that took me forever to figure out. I would have a conveyor belt of people. They would line up, they would do biometrics, we'd have a kickoff seminar, and we'd line them up at the end. Maybe 50% of people would show up for the ending. But when we started meeting people at the beginning and at the end, the retention rate of those people was so much higher. People came to the ending appointments, and more importantly, they converted over to ongoing coaching. We talk about in the initial appointment, what does success look like for you during the challenge, and what does success look like for you a year after this challenge is over. Most people are not going to lose all of the weight they want to lose during a challenge. They need your help long after the challenge is over. One of the things that we do during the 1-day challenge intensive training and during the mentoring program is we role play that meeting. I want coaches to feel so confident when they do those initial meetings and those final meetings so that they have a really good conversion rate. The awesome thing when you role play with us is that you do feel so confident and you end up converting at least 50% of those people to ongoing nutrition coaching. Let's do the math. If we are charging $100 per month for ongoing coaching and you have 30 people signed up for your nutrition challenge, you convert at least 50% of those people. That's 15 people. Now you have an added $1,500 of reoccurring revenue after the challenge is over. That's simple math, but most of our clients charge more than $100 per month for ongoing accountability and nutrition coaching after a challenge is over. The last tip, speaking of charging, is don't undercharge for your nutrition challenge. Most people charge such minimal amounts for their nutrition challenge, and it's really tough to convert people over to ongoing coaching because you're charging a premium for ongoing coaching. Instead, charge a little bit more for your nutrition challenge and make it a little bit less for your ongoing coaching so someone doesn't go up in price, they go down in price after the challenge. These 3 things are vital to avoid the challenge trap. If you are looking to launch a nutrition challenge, I would recommend that you register and join our 1-day intensive. We are hosting another 1-day intensive because this one was so awesome on Thursday, January 6th. It's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There are only 30 spots available for non-mentoring clients. If you sign up for the mentoring program, that's where we provide you all the tools, ongoing support, the HSN app, everything to build an ongoing nutrition coaching program. You get access to everything you need to launch a challenge, but more importantly, convert people over to ongoing coaching. You can also register for a slot in this 1-day training for free. We had 5 or 6 gyms join the mentoring program over the last week right before the 1-day intensive, and they all joined the 1-day intensive as a way to kickstart their mentoring journey, and it was a really great experience for them. So we have 2 options for you, standalone training and mentoring, if you are ready to invest in your business and yourself to build an awesome nutrition coaching program in 2022. For more free help, click the link in the show notes, and to lock in your spot, you can also click the link in the show notes. We'll see you back here next week.